Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. So today I have a very special video for you guys. I think everyone in this day and age in the makeup realm is like obsessed with brows, and it's so true. Like, I am obsessed with my eyebrows. I love doing people's eyebrows. I love looking at awesome eyebrows. I just love eyebrows. And a very popular video I feel on YouTube has been everyone's brow routine. So I decided I would put on my own little brow routine. I have gotten a couple requests recently as well. I'm like, why not? Because I feel like in every video where I do makeup tutorials, I feel like I always have to put my brows in there. I don't have a thorough video of me showing you how I do my brows. So I would love to do that for you, just so that in my makeup tutorials we can speed things up a little bit and I don't have to show you guys my full brow routine every single time. So you guys can just refer to this one, and this is pretty much what I've been doing and probably will do for a very long time. But I'm going to show you a couple of my favorite products, and then we're going to talk about how I tame these guys, okay? So if you'd like to see my brow routine and how I take care of my brows, then please keep watching. So I'm going to talk about how I take care of my brows first, because I think that is of the utmost importance. Since I was very young, I remember I have always been obsessed with brows. When I was younger, I used to just pluck them. And plucking is so bad. I can't tell you how bad plucking is, because it might seem okay right now, and especially when you're young, when you've just started, because they grow back immediately, right? Like, I feel like you pluck and then they're back like 2 days later. Plucking, eventually, your hair will just stop growing. So much better for you to get like threading done or waxing, just because it's so much better for the brows. Plucking is just so bad. It's so abrasive and it just doesn't take it out properly. I really try not to pluck as much as I can. I usually get my brows threaded. I've gotten them waxed before though. I don't really care either or. Usually between that time I try not to touch my brows. Sometimes if there's like a really obvious hair, I might pluck it, but for the most part I just leave them be. So that's pretty much how I take care of my brows. So now let's get into how I fill them in. Some important little tools that I would suggest to you, my friends, is brow pencil. Brow pencil is what I mean. It's not like the ones that you actually sharpen. I don't really tend to use those. My favorite is the Anastasia Brow Wiz. This is just like a staple eyebrow product for me. It's something that I absolutely need. And on one end it has a spoolie, which you can just see here. It's basically like to comb out your brows and to groom them before and after you actually are filling them in. And I'll show you that when I actually demo for you. Also love to have some powder. So this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills powder. This is my all-time favorite. As you can see, I've had this for a while. And then after that, I like to use a brow gel, and preferably tinted. And this is the Blinc Eyebrow Mousse, the Fountain of Youth color. So basically the brow gel just keeps your brows in place all day, doesn't let them move around. And it also just helps to, again, groom them and make them look a little bit more polished. So it just looks like this here. And I just have it in Brunette. I think it's like a universal brunette color. So products I've used in the past that I still do love, but I just find that I don't use as much, is the Brow Bar To Go by Lightning Lightning. And this is like by Gerard Cosmetics. But this was a really popular product on YouTube for a long time, and I can see why. It has two universal brow colors here, like a kind of like a taupey brown, and then this is just like a blonde. And then it also has the wax in here as well to just put on your brows before you actually put the powder on, and then it just kind of helps to, again, just tame them and to also keep them in place all day. And then I've also used the Anastasia Dip Brow, which, I mean, I still use on occasion. I feel like I don't use it as much though, just because I just don't find it as easy. Not even that, but it's also very dramatic. Like with this product, I can't not have my brows just be looking like, damn! Like, I can never do it to a point where it looks as natural as like a pencil or powder. So I don't really tend to use this as much. So for actually filling in my brows, I like to use the Milani Brow Wax, and I put this on my eyebrows before I fill them in. And this is basically just to give them that nice texture, slicked back, so that they're easier to work with, basically. Done! Next, I'm going to be using my Anastasia Brow Wiz, and this is in the shade Dark Brown. So as you can see here, I'm just kind of molding them with the spoolie into the shape that I want them to be when I fill them in. And another alternative to the Anastasia Brow Wiz is the Lise Watier Double Definition Automatic Brow Liner. This is also another favorite of mine. It's a little bit of a different pencil, like it's the same retractable, but it's a little bit thicker. So if you're in a rush, this is probably better to use than the Brow Wiz, because the Brow Wiz is very, very tiny and very precise. But this one is really good too, but I'm just gonna use the Brow Wiz for today. So what I like to do is basically just start from the inner corner, kind of draw a line, as you can see there. Draw a line and then just start to kind of, I always like to use the end part too, because then if I make a mistake, I can just blend it away. So that I'm just placing it in here. So you can see I've kind of mapped out where I want my brow to be. And then I go on the top and do the same thing. I map out what the shape I want. And then I'll just draw in the tail. So already you can see a big difference just by me shaping and mapping out the shape of my brow that I want it to be. So then usually I leave it there, like this is if I really have time. I'll just leave my pencil and I will start filling in my brow with the powder. I'm using the Anastasia powders today, and this is the Beauty Express for brows and eyes, and this is in Brunette. And I'm just gonna use the darker shade here, and I'm holding my brush completely like straight. It's not bent at all, like I'm not doing this. I'm holding it completely straight to my brow so that we get a crisp line. And then I'm just going to use the lighter shade and just start to fill in the inner corners. And I'm just using motions like upward motions just to flick it. So I don't want it to be too thick. Okay, and then I'm going to use my spoolie again and just blend it. Make sure there's no harsh lines. And then I'm going to go in with my Blinc eyebrow mousse and just set my brows. And I usually like to flick up the brows with this gel. I like to flick them up so they look thicker. Okay, so this is the difference so far. This is pretty much when they're all filled in, and that's when they're not filled in at all. So now afterwards I like to sharpen up my brows, if that makes any sense to you guys, but I will show you. You've seen me do it all the time. Usually I use my Cover FX Cover Cream palette. I usually use the lighter color here. Or if I'm doing eyeshadow that day, I'll just use my MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. And since I'm going to be doing a little bit of eyeshadow today, like I'm just going to use my little paint pot here. And then for the brush, I'm just using the Concealer F70 brush from Sigma. And to fill in my eyebrows, I always use my MAC 266 brush. So I'm just basically sharpening it up, cleaning up any edges on my brows. I'm making sure it's nice and sharp. And you can do this on the top and the bottom of your brow. I don't really like to do it on the top because then I think it looks a little bit too just too much for me. I never really do the top of it. I think the bottom is fine. And then it just cleans up the look of the brow, and then and if there's any like mess ups, you can just basically use like a concealer or, like I said, my paint pot from MAC. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish my other eyebrow and the rest of my makeup, and I'll be right back. Hey guys, so I just finished doing my makeup. I decided to go with a really bold wing and bold lip. So I guess I'm pretty bold today, I don't know. So this is normally how I would do my brows on a daily basis. This is the way I like them to look. I mean, I like them to look full. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it was informative, and hopefully it inspires you to fill in your own eyebrows and play around with them a little bit. Eyebrows are everything to me. Like, I love eyebrows. And also, I have to tell you guys, about this blush because it is so amazing. This is a new blush by MAC. It's called Full Fuchsia, and it is a satin powder blush. Like, do you see that? Oh my god. You just use the slightest bit of it, like literally a tap like this. Like, it is very pigmented, like that's what it would be like if I just, but I just use this brush here. This is the Sigma F40. I just take this brush, I do a little pop like that, like literally like pop. And then I just kind of dab it onto my cheeks, and then this is what it looks like. I just think it looks absolutely beautiful. It's like the most youthful, most beautiful flush ever, and I literally have been wearing it every single day. I think it's so gorgeous. Yeah, thank you guys so much again for watching, and I will see you next week. And have a great rest of your day.
Sometimes it starts